Hi, this is Dr. JustX. I hope all YouTubers are fine and well. Today I'm gonna talk about something that was in my mind for a lot of years, and I find that simple-minded people always fall for it. It is the number one argument for being a theist. So they always ask you this, and by them I mean all the religious people. Let it be Christian, Muslim, Jew, whatever you want. So, Mr. Atheist, did everything came from nothing? Okay, but in the first, as in every logical or scientific argument, you have to put definitions. So, what is your definition for everything? What is everything, actually? You mean matter and energy. Well, that was in the past, but now matter, energy, and space and time. This is everything. To you, to me, to anyone. So how can matter, energy, mass, space, time came from nothing? We all know the theory of Big Bang. You all know how the universe was formed. So, what was there before the universe? This argument shoots itself in the foot. I'm gonna show you why. Visualize this picture. You are walking in a land. There is no elevations and no depressions. There is nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you want to build something. A hill, maybe. A low hill. So you have your shovel and you want to make a hill. What are you gonna do? You started with level 0. Level 0. You have level 0. And you want to build a hill like 2 meters long. So you start digging around it and laying earth, dirt, layer by layer, then you have a hill. So did it came from nothing? No, because you made a negative equal to it. This negative is the hole you have digged. Now let's go back to the universe, matter and energy. If there is negative energy, you will have positive or the energy that you can see. Also matter, because matter and energy are the two sides of one coin. So the universe, by laws of gravity, actually can and will appear from nothing, because the negative energy and the negative matter that builds up as the actual matter builds all adds to 0. This is in a very, very simple way. You can see how can all the energy, mass, and light came from. The M theory, I have read the M theory before. It's actually much more complicated than this, backed up with evidence of this negative forms of matter and energy. You can read it, but you must have some good knowledge with advanced mathematics. The equation, the mathematics involved is staggering. It's hugely complex. You have to be very well educated and patient to achieve the knowledge to understand it. But I have a question for the theists. For a simple-minded man, it can be, well, it's okay. Everything came from the supernatural being. You call God, Yahweh, Allah, whatever. The same supernatural God in every religion is actually the God of gaps. You don't know something, so it has to be created because you don't know how else can it be there. So my question to them, if there is a God and he created everything, for a scientist you have a much more complex question. How did this God came to being? Or did he always existed? If he did always existed, so if he always existed, how can it be not okay for the universe to have being always existing? The same thing. Why should God have the ability to exist but not the universe? And why exactly did the prophets not perform any scientific breakthroughs? I mean, if you have the God on your side and he knows everything, he created everything, so why didn't any of the prophets tell us how the fuck the cell works, how the atoms are formed, how the energy behaves, any of the physical laws? They never did, or at least some hints. Nope. It's always contradictory to the reality. Why? Because some simple-minded guy came up with all the ideas accumulated to him from other previous religions. Now you see, the monotheism that we have now, the three great monotheistic religion, came about by evolution of ideas from previous religions. Yahweh was in first the god of the Judaism, was in first the result of the polytheistic communities in that time. Then Jesus came in the Christianity, and he was a form of complex relation of polytheism that came to existence as a monotheistic God. So, like water, they say, that Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit are three faces or aspects of the same entity. Now, in the Quran, it's really simple. It is monotheism in its simplest form. Now, you can see that the biblical stories are the same as the Quranic stories. You can see that the Old Testament is in Christianity. So, the ideas that are in the religions are evolving, and they are not clear in one shot. They are not clear as a constant. If there was one God that told these prophets what he was and what did he want, so how come that we see that his ideas are not well formed? They are not in solidarity, if you will. Well, simple explanation. It's all man-made. God is a man-made idea. Now, one other question that always was directed to the atheists. So, how come that human being, for an example, is extremely complex and nature has its rules that work in harmony? Well, duh. The rule of physics tell you how everything works in its order. So it is not stupid. The stupid thing is to believe in a fairy tale that is contradictory to itself and to science and to logic. To be a religious person is to be an irrational person. I hope that's clear to everybody. When you cannot explain a phenomena, it does not mean it's supernatural. When you don't know why there is lightning, why there is rain, why there is earthquakes, why there is a solar eclipse, It does not mean that there is a God in the sky moving it around. No, we now know that. In previous times, in Muhammad's time, 1,400 years ago, he actually made a prayer because of an eclipse. Prayer to God to not harm people because he thought that an eclipse, a solar eclipse, would be dangerous. How can this man be a prophet? How can he not know the rules and the gravitational and rotational rules of the solar system that made the eclipse came about? Clearly, it would be irrational to think that just because you don't know how something works, it had to be divine. Now, in the next videos, I'm gonna discuss someone who is called Zaghlul al-Nagar. Many Arab-speaking people and Muslims know that man. Now, that man, he claimed to have what he called the miraculous scientific evidence of Quran. Of course, he denies evolution, and he said some stupid stuff like, well, Adam was 60 feet long and he lived for 200 years. Now, I'm gonna show you in my next video how the hell that would be completely ridiculous and moronic. I just cannot stop laughing when remembering this. Okay, so keep in touch, and my new videos will be really soon. Peace.